Is this Love Island or is this Gemma'S Island? Because I just don't really seem to understand.
It's not that I want you here. Yeah. It's not the way you say to my eyes. I know that I might be.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing okay and everyone is doing well. I'm so sorry, okay? The conk of sleep, like literally the way I conked out yesterday didn't even make any sense, but I did post on the community tab on my channel if you guys would still like a review, and I'm really sorry, I'm actually so sorry, but you guys voted yes, so we still want to do that, okay? But yeah, I'm not even at home at the moment, so don't worry. From tonight we're back to our regular schedule, daily reviews, 110%. So yeah, let's get into yesterday's episode, and as always, if you haven't yet subscribed, of course be sure to, and please get cozy and comfortable with your hot ribena, I don't know, that's right, and your snacks, and I really hope you enjoy the rest of this review. Okay, so let's start off with Paige and Indiyah dodging the dump because Liam went home. As you guys already know, Liam left in yesterday's episode for his own, was it yesterday's or the day episode before? I think it may have been an episode before, but he left for his own personal reasons. So as a result, Paige and Indiyah were saved from the dumping. Let's briefly speak about Dami and Amber having a chat. I can't lie, I really like them, okay? I really like both of them together. I do have some things to say very soon when we speak about Indiyah and Ikenna in regards to unseen bits. But I think Dami and Amber, they have a really good chat between them. I think they're really sweet. I did already say this in, I think, the video before yesterday's, that I think Dami's love language is personal touch, because he loves touching Amber, and he's always speaking about, you know, I like when you hold my hands, I like when you hug, I like when you skin, all that good stuff. But I really like Dami as a character, and I also really like Amber as well, so I think they're cute together, okay? I think they're really cute. Let's move on to Luca and Gemma going for a chat. Okay, first thing that I did note down is that I actually think Gemma is a bit weird. I don't know, has anyone else picked up on this? I don't know, I feel like Gemma's a bit weird. She comes across as low-key being a bit like pessimistic, like even when Luca was like, oh, you know, first of all, in fact, before we get on to that, let's speak about Luca. Luca was obviously speaking about vacations unserious, okay? But he was like, yeah, you know, like Mykonos, like Dubai. And I'm thinking, babe, calm down. Let's make it back to the UK first, all right? Let's relax. But yeah, I did kind of like realize that when Luca does speak to Gemma about certain stuff, she's just like, oh, calm down, and oh, you wish, or just things like that. And I don't know if maybe that is her love language, because there are actually some girls that flirt with guys by being mean, if that makes sense. So maybe that's just what she likes to do. So yeah, let's move on to Tasha and Andrew. They were basically speaking about the speech, and they're very excited to see how things go. Love Island still haven't gotten the memo in terms of muting mics when the contestants are kissing, so they definitely need to get that memo. But in regards to Tasha and Andrew, this sounds really I like Tasha as a person. I don't know about Andrew, but I don't know if I really care for them too tough, if that makes sense. But it's nice to see that, I guess, that they're getting on and things like that. But I'm not really too, I don't know. Let's move on to Indiyah and Ikenna. So like I was saying, all right, in case you don't know, Love Island does not air on Saturday, so it's literally Monday to Friday, Saturday's the break, and then Sunday we go again. On Saturday we are able to get like unseen bits, so of course we only have one hour of Love Island per day, and in unseen bits on Saturdays we kind of get like some clips that didn't necessarily make the main show. Last unseen bits that showed on Saturday, sorry, I'm just saying different dates, that showed on Saturday showed a lot of unseen bits with Indiyah and Ikenna, and they are really cute. It literally had not just myself but many people wondering, why are you guys saving this for the unseen bits when you know people aren't always tuning into unseen bits? Like these are clips that should be making it to the main show. So it's quite interesting, because in unseen bits you can see that Indiyah and Ikenna have a much stronger relationship and connection, and there's a lot of banter, and like Ikenna is actually like quite clumsy and things like that. But in the main show we only get glimpses of their conversations. So Love Island needs to work on that, because I feel like it's not even just for Indiyah and Ikenna, just in general, give every couple a fair chance for the public to decide if they feel like there's a good connection there. Anyway, they were having a conversation, and they were basically speaking about, you know, the recoupling and how they're feeling. Indiyah asked Ikenna for a kiss, and Indiyah is too peng, okay? Indiyah's actually just too peng. Ikenna is the same guy that what did he say? He kissed 15 to 20 girls in one night. babe, Indiyah should not have to ask you for a kiss. You should be planting it on her. It's not really giving, it's not really making sense. So yeah, I really hope Ikenna also wakes up. But I really love Indiyah. I really like the fact that she was saved. So shout out to Ikenna for saving her. And like I said, I do like their connection a lot more in the unseen bits than how it is presented in the main show. So Love Island needs to get it together. Let's move on to Davide and Ekin-Su going for a chat. Okay. Okay. I don't know where to start. All right, let me say this, okay? So Ekin-Su, of course, was grateful that Davide chose her in the recoupling, and she said that she wanted to give him a thank you kiss. I feel like that kiss was less passion and more aggression. It was like, they were like literally, yeah, they were definitely going ham in that kiss. I was definitely laughing at Paige, Tasha and Andrew being nosy Parkers, and then low-key acted natural when they came like, oh, you guys look a bit happy. Well, duh, you definitely saw that they were kissing. Personally, in regards to Ekin-Su and Davide, I don't know if they have a connection. I feel like they are 100% sexually attracted to one another, but in terms of an actual connection, I don't really see them having much chat, like meaningful chat, if that makes sense. So I think that's quite interesting. We are definitely not going to miss Dami's comment where he says he can see the makeup swap. That is so funny. And I'm very glad as well. I'm glad that someone finally caught Ekin-Su, because Ekin-Su is the CCTV of that villa. She doesn't sleep when people are sleeping because she wants to know what they're doing. She sees Dami and Amber, she's saying, oh yeah, I just noticed that you guys just look really cute. So I'm glad that someone has finally beat her to her game. So yeah, Davide and Ekin-Su, I don't know. I don't really know. Okay, let's move on. Why am I singing? Okay, so let's move on to the following morning. I don't know if it is Love Island etiquette to just wake up with sunglasses, but the second the lights turn on in that villa, everyone literally throws their sunglasses on. So let's move on to Paige and Afia. So Paige ended up getting a text that she was going to be going on a morning date, and Afia was as well. As you guys know, Paige and Afia are the two single girls in the villa, so it only makes sense for them to be given an opportunity to date someone. And you're probably wondering, who's this mystery man? His name is Jacques. Firstly, when I saw the spelling of his name, I thought his name was Jacques, which makes sense. I'm not the only one, right? It definitely makes sense. The spelling is definitely exotic, even though he's just from Cumbria. But yeah, so Jacques is a rugby player. He is 23 years old, and the girls were initially first trying to see him from behind because the date was on the villa, and they were just like, oh, you know, he looks good looking, he looks this, he looks that. And then Gemma was like, that head shape looks a tad familiar. And I think that's actually quite funny as well, because girls can identify guys because of their head shapes. I don't know why, but we actually just can. So yeah, she definitely was like, actually, that actually does look like my ex. First impressions of Jacques, I'll say number one, he is very, very, very confident. You can definitely tell that. He believes in his sauce, he believes in his looks as well. He seems to come across as being very cheeky, also having a good chat. Yeah, and just very bold and very out there. So those are my first impressions of Jacques. I would love to hear your first impressions down below as well. But yeah, it was confirmed when he did turn around that it was Gemma'S ex. Is this Love Island or is this Gemma'S Island? Because I just don't really seem to understand. It does feel like, and I did say this in my other reviews as well, it feels like the past few episodes have been centered around Gemma being the it girl. And that's not necessarily a problem, because I know Love Island, I guess, need a storyline. But switch it up. Switch up, guys. But yeah, aside from that, I feel like Paige and Jacques' date actually went quite well. They seem to be quite into each other. They seem to be each other's type. I do really like Paige. I think Paige is an absolute sweetheart. So I'm really hoping that she does leave the villa with love anyway. Moving on to Afia's date. I did note down that she lied, okay? So when he was obviously speaking about, you know, where you from, she was like Northwest. And even me, I said, no, I swear she said she's from Waterloo, because I picked her up in my video. Waterloo, Northwest, Waterloo, miles apart. Okay, miles apart. So I don't actually know why Afia lied, because I was just thinking, babe, this is actually in 4K. And the thing is like, sometimes lies are warranted. Like, for example, when people ask me for my name in public, I sometimes say Sasha. Don't ask why. But babe, this is 4K. Like, this is actually national TV. We heard Waterloo, and we know Waterloo is not in Northwest. But yeah, they had a small chat as well about Gemma being his ex, and he said that, you know, things were kind of like a tad salty on her side, so maybe he feels like she's the reason why they did break up. I don't really know. So I guess that was quite interesting. But overall, I definitely do feel like Jacques and Paige have more of a connection than Jacques and Afia, so I guess it does somewhat leave Afia a tad vulnerable in the villa. So let's move on to the guys meeting Jacques first, and then to the girls meeting Jacques. The guys were talking, you know, asking about him, if he thinks it's a bit awkward between, you know, him and Gemma being in the villa. One thing that I did note down is that him and Luca actually look alike. Like Jacques and Luca look, when the camera panned to both of them together, they actually look like brothers sitting next to each other. But I do feel like Jacques' comment when he was like, oh yeah, you sell fish, innit? I was thinking, hey! How can you say that to someone? You sell fish. Even though it's not a problem if you do, by the way, selling fish is a job, but like he definitely said it in a way to have a dig at Luca. That comment there, jail, okay, jail time. But Gemma was also speaking to the girls, and she said that she doesn't feel some type of way if anyone decides to get to know Luca, especially Paige. It is a bit awkward at first, but you know, they're exes of how many? I think they broke up like 1.5 years ago. Speaking of that, okay, when he came and he said his age, and then I deep Gemma's age, I started doing the maths and I started thinking, I was like, okay, 23, 19, you broke up 1.5 years ago and you went out for 8 months. Is anyone not doing the maths? Or was Gemma 16, 17 going out of a 20, 21-year-old? People were saying, oh yeah, but 16 is legal. Okay, but legal doesn't always mean right. And that's what people need to get into their head. Just because someone is, would you feel comfortable seeing a 16-year-old with a 30-year-old guy? And I know it's a completely different scenario, but you can't allow the argument for, oh, but it's legal, to be the argument that you're going to stand on. Just because something is legal doesn't mean that it's right. But that seemed quite interesting if they did actually go out when she was around 16, 17. I definitely get that she comes across as being quite mature, but Jacques, that's very interesting, I'm just gonna say. Anyway, let's move on to Jacques and Ekin-Su having a chat. When they did have a chat, number one, I said, nah, Ekin-Su is actually gold for TV. Like, she's actually gold, because the way she was looking at Jacques, you wouldn't even know this is the same Ekin-Su that was on Davide's shoulders doing up weights literally the day before. But yeah, she definitely is a flirt. She was just asking himself about, you know, is he a relationship type of guy? Does he go to clubs and things like that? She definitely did say that he does look older than his age, and I do agree. If he told me he was 25, 26, I would believe him, but he is only 23. We can move on as well to Ekin-Su and Indiyah having a chat. Ekin-Su said that she feels like she's given too much with Davide and she kind of needs to slow it down, and I 100% agree. I did mention this in, if not yesterday's video, the video before that. Yes, I do know she wanted to secure her spot in the villa by, you know, recoupling with Davide, but it was just given to, it was actually given force, so much force that it was low-key a bit cringy, but the game is the game. What can you do? Let's move on to Indiyah. So Indiyah was speaking to Ekin-Su, and she was speaking about how she also feels like Ikenna needs to step up, and I think this honestly goes back to what I said in the first review when we spoke about the recoupling and how they didn't get to choose who they wanted to be in a couple with. The public were the first people who were, well, the public were the first people who were able to vote. I think this is just something that was inevitable. Like, in all honesty, it completely changed the whole dynamic of the villa. So I don't know if I feel like the guys feel like they actually do need to graft for their girls, if I'm going to be honest. But Indiyah did say she does feel like she has to put on her big boots and pursue things with Ikenna. And although people are saying, oh yeah, like Indiyah, this is Love Island. If you don't, this was on Twitter by the way, people saying, oh, you know, this is Love Island, like you can't wait for a guy to graft. At the same time, girls do like it when guys do put in work. So I think it would be nice for Ikenna to put in a bit more work. But like I did say, I do hate the fact that Love Island place unseen clips that we should see in the main show on unseen clips and not in the main show, because yeah, there definitely is a connection between them and they do have good banter and chat between them as well. But I love Indiyah, so she does no wrong in my eyes. Let's move on lastly to Ekin-Su, and Ekin-Su wanted to play a game called Never Have I Ever. I'm sure majority of you have heard of that game, so I don't need to explain it, but I do feel like the game was very sexual. Like, what happened to Never Have I Ever Been to Nigeria? Like, everything was just never have I ever done this, never have I done that, like, okay, we get it. And I know it's Love Island, but I just feel like sometimes things just go from 0 to 100 when, you know, let's take small steps, okay? Let's take small steps. But one thing that I did note down was Ekin-Su and Davide, a match clearly made in heaven. They are very interesting. If you watch that episode, you will know what I mean when I mean they are very, very interesting. And let's also speak about the fact that Gemma and Jacques had a lot of tension during that game as well. I definitely feel like it was intentional with the camera panning to each of them when majority of the questions were being asked. I guess as well, with them drinking in that game, it will kind of show give us a bit of insight into their relationship and see how that worked as well. So I guess that was quite interesting. Oh yeah, so last but not least, let's speak about Gemma and Jacques going for a chat. Luca definitely expressed to the guys that he was 100% frustrated with the whole situation. He feels like he was a balloon and now he feels like he's been deflated. And I was just thinking like, okay, don't get me wrong, I know they like Gemma, but it is still definitely early days. So I don't know, if not saying he shouldn't feel like that, everyone's feelings are valid, but you know, just like brush up a bit, you know, it's all right, calm down babe, okay, don't cry, don't sweat. But they basically went for a chat, and I honestly feel like that chat was 100% necessary. At the end of the day, even if they don't have any communications or connections or stuff like that, you are my ex and we are in the same villa and we're on the same show. So I feel like that chat was definitely warranted, and I'm glad that they had it sooner rather than later. You can definitely tell there probably is still a connection there. I mean, again, at the end of the day, that is her ex and that is his ex, but they definitely seem to have a mutual understanding of how the game is going to go in terms of them wanting to speak to other people. But I do feel like Jacques is definitely a flirt, 110%, and Gemma remembers him for being a flirt as well. So I don't think they are going to get back together. I think that should just be crossed out and ruled out completely. But I just don't want it to come across like this is Gemma Island and not Love Island. So I'm hoping we don't have to continuously see that storyline repeat itself, and we can actually be able to see more of the couples and their developments the right way as well. So yeah. Those are my thoughts on that episode, guys. I would love to hear your thoughts. I keep saying that I can't hear your thoughts, but I can read them. I'd love to also read your thoughts down below to let me know how you did find that episode. As always, by tonight we are back to our normal regular recording times, everything and above, even my location. I'm not even in Kent, I'm in London right now. So yeah, we're back to our regular programming, but I'd love to hear Sarah. I would love to read your thoughts down below. So as always, please feel free to comment down below, and I thank you guys so much for your love and also for your support. Please do take care, and I'll see you in my next one.